Today's topic, fat shame.
Fabulous Lizzo has been inspiring figure for promoting body positivity, but former Biggest Loser trainer Jillian Michaels wonders if she should be. Take a look.
Why are we celebrating her body? Why does it matter? That's what I'm saying. Like, why aren't we celebrating her music? Because it isn't going to be awesome if she gets diabetes.
Well, I want to ask you.
I'm just being honest. Like, I love her music. Like, my kid loves her music. But there's never a moment where I'm like, and I'm so glad that she's overweight. Like, why do I even care?
Like,
why is it my job to care about her weight?
I don't care.
Because you're somebody who apparently helps people lose weight or put weight on, and that's why people assume that you would care.
Oh, that's a bit of a misrepresentation. No. What she's saying is she doesn't want to glorify it. I think anybody would agree that if you love yourself at any point, everyone's going to be positive. Nobody wants you to be depressed in whatever state or whatever place you are in. No. But no one also wants to look at what you're going through and the size that you're at and be like, that's a great thing. Because let's be honest, it's not. You know, it kills me that people say this when it comes to black people, not realizing that black people deal with all kinds of health issues in North America. You know, we have plenty of people in the black community who are very prominent, who are dying from high blood pressure, who are dying from diabetes, a lot of preventable stuff. For example, Patrice O'Neal died from diabetes. Patrice is a good example for me because that's someone who I feel like today would have so much to contribute to society. But because of the way that we're all like, I'm not saying he fell victim to that body positivity, but because of the fact that in the black community we eat so unhealthy, we're losing people who are really valuable to stuff that is preventable. Obesity is one of the leading cause of deaths that is preventable. It's sad to me. It's honestly sad. So I understand what she's saying because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want that for my child. But if my child was in that state where they were, you know, obese and she said, I still love myself, I'm happy about the fact that she still loves herself and she's still positive. But I would not say that that's a good place to be. And all these stars who say all this body positivity stuff and they're like, yeah, you find out years later they lose all that weight, whether it's Adele, whether it's Monique. I'm not saying people should go out there and fat shame. I'm not saying you'd be like, hey, you're fat. You should insult people like that. But on the flip side, we should always be honest and have real conversations about how this stuff is unhealthy, how this stuff isn't good for you. Well, you don't know someone's health just by looking at them. Yes, okay, there are some obese people who are actually doing okay. Generally speaking, this is pretty accurate for the general curve. When you are obese, you are raising your likelihoods of early death. I can't stand when liberals are the ones who are pushing this stuff, knowing damn well that the communities most affected by obesity are minority communities. So liberal elites in Hollywood will be like, oh yeah, body positivity, boo-boo, stop. I see what it's doing to people. I see how it's removing people from our communities. I see how it's people taking people out of jobs because of the fact that their feet don't work because of their diabetes. You can say that because you're rich and you're insulated from that stuff. So you can push this message to everyone. But for the people who are most affected, they can't afford doctors' meetings. Do you know how expensive it is for insulin medication?
Yeah, in the States.
It's a scary thing to deal with. I would never wish that on somebody else.
When Gervais said, yo, you don't live none of this life, sit down, just take your award, thank your God, and
let's watch.
And, you know, she is who she is. This is who she is, and if you don't get it, you don't get it.
But we're not celebrating her body. We're celebrating the fact that
you are.
No, we're celebrating the fact. Well, I'm not. I'm celebrating the fact that she likes her body, that she's comfortable with herself.
Right.
That's what.
Well, but I don't think there's a difference. I think celebrating her body. I'm thrilled that she's a big-figured woman. I'm thrilled that she is, and that she has no compunction about wearing whatever she wants to wear, and she's comfortable.
And you know,
so I do celebrate.
Jillian Michaels is entitled to her opinion, but not everybody can be a skinny bitch, okay? That's the way it is.
Bette Midler.
You know?
First off, I didn't know you could say the B word on national television. Yeah?
Yeah.
It just kills me, the hypocrisy of this show, where it's like, yeah, don't make fun of big people, but let's make fun of skinny people, because skinny people can be unhealthy too.
Skinny people are humans. You know what I mean? You cannot skinny shame them as well, because we do that. You know, how many times I've seen people, my friends that are skinny, and they're like, yo, eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
Get that person a sandwich. Oh my God, you gonna crack. Oh, there's wind outside. Put some rockets in your pocket. The number of times I heard that shit, and I got some friends that go through that because we had a discussion. Are you healthy? Yes, you are. And that's how your body should be. Perfect. Fine. No problem. As long as you're not hurting yourself. But the minute some of my friends that are bigger, they're like, yeah, I started to have sleep apnea. I'm always tired. I'm always this. And I'm like, maybe it's because of something. But
And
Go
exercise
ahead.
all day long and all afternoon and all weekend.
Yeah.
People are crazy with that exercising. I
Yeah,
don't do any of it.
unfortunately, but everything is so.
I hate exercise. It's the most annoying and most...
It must be the most North American thing to be lazy and fat. Like, it must be. This is the only place I've ever heard of where people are like, you're exercising? That's disgusting. Bro, do you know how important exercising is to happiness? To do like the endorphin release, how it is important for your health, longevity, your mobility. You want to be around for your grandkids? I hope you exercise. Do you want to be part of your family's life for a long time? I hope you exercise. In communities like China, right? They have literally sporting events that they do in the park for all the old people. Exercising should be part of your day-to-day life. You should want to be moved and you want to be active. It is so sad to me how we act in North America in regards to fitness. It is like either you're on the extreme where you go to the gym all the time, or you're the other apathetic person who makes fun of it. I'm like, you guys are backwards.
Did you just hit yourself in the head?
Yeah, because it's just so dumb. I want to knock it out. I can't believe I'm hearing this stuff, bro.
I can help you. Stay still.
Bro, the long walks are healthy for you. Like, it makes me sad because I see old people who are staying in and who refuse to exercise, and you see their mobility deteriorate.
And when they don't move,
it kills them. It literally kills your body. And this woman's getting on national TV and she's saying this stuff, and I'm like, she can say this because she has access to the best health, best doctors, best everything. But for a lot of those old people who are stuck in those homes and who don't want to do anything, they're stuck in this endless cycle of like lethargy and they just don't move.
Boring thing that anybody can do is exercise. I'd rather sit and stare at a wall than exercise. I would.
That's because you can afford it. Because you're going to be like, oh, dinner's ready. Oh shit, I gotta go eat because that's your cook that said that.
Well, you look like you're on death's door. Like once you remove that wig and all that makeup, you don't look like you got much time to live. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 10 years you hear the fact that Joy Behar died. I'm dead.
Let them do it.
You hit the nail on the head though in the beginning of the segment. Is all you want is for people to be happy.
Be happy.
And you know what?
Listen, some people are happy doing crack. Some people are happy doing all kinds of stuff. Some people are happy running other people over. Some people are happy burning themselves. Doesn't mean that it's the right thing for society. This propensity towards happiness in this North American society is dumb.
Can we just be happy?
What's right and what makes you happy can be two different things.
Yep.
Years people were. They could fat shame and they could exclude people and they could make people feel less than in all forms of media. And we should always be inclusive. But you cannot glorify obesity. It's dangerous. It kills people. It's the number one cause of bankruptcy in our country. So there's a middle ground here. Now it's like, oh, that woman is 250 pounds. Good for her. And it's like, it shouldn't be one way or the other. It's really no one's business to comment. It's not something you should judge. It's not something you should celebrate. That woman's health is up to her. But, 250 pounds, I would say 999 times out of 1,000 is going to mean heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune issues, and early death. Like, I
also just don't get why we're celebrating mediocrity. It's easy to be overweight.
It's not easy.
It is easy.
No, you gotta buy all those meals. You gotta walk over there. Bro, you have to eat all the time. Now, that's not easy. Then you got a fresh salad there. You have to choose the Caesar salad because there's mayonnaise in there and not the green salad. Like, it's choices that you make. Bro, it's not easy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I get you, man. So then when we celebrate J-Lo, it's because even at her age, she's taking the time and putting in the work in order to stay in shape. Now, maybe there's other extracurriculars that I don't know what she's doing. But all this to say, that's why we celebrate the fitness side of it, because it's difficult. It's like in anything. When I watch sports, I don't celebrate the worst players. I celebrate the best players because they're winning at the highest level. When you listen to music, who do you celebrate? The best musicians. So of course, I don't think it makes sense to celebrate the worst of the worst because they're not good at what they're doing. That's me though. Maybe you have a different take.
The way we used to talk about obese people is that dehumanizing. Yeah. And that's what the problem is with fat shaming, dehumanizes people. And that's what people are going against. Now, I understand that there's a difference between dehumanizing people and celebrating what is killing a bunch of people. There's a difference, and that's why we have to be nuanced. You know what I mean? I'm not for fat shaming, and I understand how bad fat shaming is. Actually, for some people, fat shaming can get them to change their behavior, and some people, fat shaming can actually keep them in the same behavior because they don't have the courage to do something else. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand how bad the fat shaming is and how it's important not to do it. But there's a difference between fat shaming and over gratification of obesity, something that is killing someone. It's just like, you shouldn't smoke shame people that are smoking outside because they have the right and it makes them happy to smoke outside and just to release endorphins and just to be relaxed and continue their day. Fine, okay, but it is also killing a lot of people. And at the end of the day, the people that get the bill is the people that are living.
Bruh, it changes. Like, I've been overweight. I've been close to 240. I have. Bro, your body feels different. Your feet start to swell. You don't move as well. Getting up is different. You feel lethargic in the morning. My snoring got worse. It was not a good place to be. And I didn't realize how much I preferred the other side of it until I lost that weight. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, because here's the thing. When you are somewhere and you're used to being there, you don't know what it feels like to live in a different place. So you just get used to that. But you don't realize, even when you lose that weight, it's like, what you notice is the absence of a lot of negatives. Yeah. And it's hard to notice the absence of negatives. It's not like being happy where it's a high. This is just a place where you're like, I'm not in a bad place anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to me that I noticed that difference, and I'm like, oh, people don't want that. I'm like, trust me. If most people had the choice to be able to move better, to feel better, to physically be able to do things better, live a longer life, I think most people would opt for that. So that was my personal experience, but I just want to say.
All my friends that were overweight and they decided to change is because they had a close call. And after that close call, like it was a light. Like some people had strokes.
Yeah.
Some of my people they were fainting a lot, high blood pressure. And then they changed and they're like, wow, I never felt better that way. So it's really not so much about being fat or whatever. It's really about being healthy. With the age, eventually that shit catches up.
100%.
That thing catches up. I love me some soul food. Soul food is killing us. Just refer yourself to the big Boondocks episode of.
Listen,
yeah,
they call it soul food for a reason.
Yeah, because the only thing that's left, the soul, because you die.
America and North America is one of the very few places where we talk about this stuff this way. The rest of the world has clued into this and they watch their portions. Because we overeat here, I feel like it's the food industry who's really pushed this whole body positivity.
You're gonna switch.
Maybe it's a conspiracy. I don't know. But to me, it's very suspect that in a place where we overeat this much, that body positivity is constantly being pushed.
I don't think it's a food place. I think it's more the pharmaceuticals. Because they're the one racking up on that.
Sure.
I mean, a healed client is not a client anymore, right? Yeah. So, I mean, maybe that's what it is. No. I don't know. I'm not going to go into conspiracies and shit like stuff like that. I cannot go into things that I cannot prove, like who's pushing it and who's not pushing it. I don't know. I can't prove it. But I'm going to go with this. It's just facts. In your younger years, it's going to be fine. Later on, you're going to have problems. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Same thing if you're too skinny. Later on, you're gonna have you should have your weight. You should have the weight that you have, and that's all good. If you're healthy, you're healthy. But if you start to have problems, or if it starts to be a problem, you should do something about it.